Hey, everybody. I hope you're doing well today. This is Brad Cartwright from Econ Course Companion, and today we're going to take a look at the other motives firms have besides maximizing profits. Because guess what, man? Let's get real. You can't, if you own a small firm, let's say you own a pizza shop, and you could maximize profits by staying open till 2 in the morning every night and capturing all the profit you possibly could from those late night purchasers of pizza. Yeah, you might be able to maximize your profits, but good night. You're never going to be home, right? You're never going to be there with your family. People do not, and firms do not always behave in theory or in practice as they would in theory. And therefore, it's super important to realize that not all firms are actually trying to maximize profits, which is super cool to know because in IB economics, we always assume and our diagrams show profit maximization motives. And therefore, when you get to the evaluation, here's the little secret. Here's where you bring out the other motives besides profit, and you look like a rock star because you dip into reality and away from the theory. So let's take a look at what they are. And I just put in reality, of course, what do? There are basically four other things that we look at in IB economics besides profit maximization. Right? The first one is something called revenue maximization, which is where an entrepreneur measures success not by the amount of profit, but by the amount of revenue he or she may make. Right? They produce above the profit maximizing level of output. So better said, like beyond the profit maximizing level of output to try to generate revenue. And this is actually where in the price makers market of monopolies, monopolistic competition, and oligopoly, where the marginal revenue curve hits zero, where it crosses the origin or crosses the horizontal axis, okay? That's the the revenue maximizing moment. And if somebody's interested in just maximizing revenue, that's where they would perform. All right. The other motive that an entrepreneur might have is growth maximization. And this is very much the case for firms that are new. All right. Companies may set their target to achieve growth in the short run, not profitability, in order to gain a large market share and then dominate the market in the long run. So it's a short-term growth plan. The idea is to like build the business fast, build it, put yourself in debt, spend the money, grow. And then once you get to a point where you feel like you have enough market share, you slow down and you start thinking about profit maximization. This is a very common motive for firms that are trying to, in the end, put themselves up for sale. So entrepreneurs will often try to grow the firm quickly because growth, by the way, creates this added value in the future. And firms are sold based on the next 5 years of potential growth. So if you're starting a new company and you want to sell it, right? You want to start it, get it going, grow it, then sell it to make a big profit, then it's better to have growth maximization than profit maximization. And actually, a lot of the firms out there aren't even profitable. Like Pinterest is a huge example. Like they're not profitable. They're just growing. We all know Pinterest, right? Grammarly, my goodness, every YouTube video, maybe even this one you watch begins with a Grammarly video. They're not profitable. They're spending too much money. I don't know anything about Grammarly, but I imagine they're not profitable. What are they trying to do? Grow. They're trying to grow, get their name out there so that people like me are talking about them, giving them free advertising on a video here, right? To get market share. And then they'll slow down the growth to try to be profitable. All right. The third motive might be, and I hate this term, just to be honest with you, satisficing. I don't know. That's just like a made-up word, it feels like to me. It's not, but satisficing is an economic term where the economic agent aims to perform satisfactorily rather than to a maximum level of output, meaning profitability, in order to pursue other goals. Like satisficing is like, dude, the pizza shop, yeah, stay open till 2 in the morning, never see your family, but my goodness, that's not living, right? Of course, any entrepreneur who has a business that shuts down because he or she goes on on vacation is not profit maximizing. They're satisficing. There's a very cool little veggie stand right here in Santiago where I live, in this little, sort of in the outskirts of town, in a place called Lo Barnechea. And there's a guy who runs a veggie stand, and every February, which is the middle of summer here, he takes off. He's not there, and he puts a little sign out there. He's like, on vacation, back in 3 weeks. He's not selling anything, right? He's not maximizing any profit for that time period, and therefore he's not profit maximizing for the year. But what's he doing? Yeah, he's pursuing other goals. My gosh, go on vacation and chill, Spend time with your family, recharge, be a human being instead of just a machine that's constantly working. So satisficing is another thing that firms do besides profit maximizing. And then the last thing here, of course, is corporate social responsibility. Whenever a firm is interested in other things other than lowering its costs, it is, and if it's for the reason of taking care of the, quote, public interest, then they're not profit maximizing. And a great example of this is Patagonia. Patagonia is like, if you're looking for outdoor gear and you have the money and you want to have a long-term investment in making sure that you have the best gear, buy Patagonia. That's the best. I've used it in every environment that I've ever been in outside, and it's just the best. But it's the best because it's high quality, sure. But they're also, beyond that, very, very socially responsible. And they use only recycled materials if they can. They also incentivize people to turn in their old gear so it's not thrown away. But all of that costs them more money, right? Corporate social responsibility is an added cost item. So they're not profit maximizing, right? Patagonia is not profit maximizing. They're really not. Any sort of businesses that have some sort of philanthropic, arm of their business, they're not profit maximizing. Now, those are costs to the firm that take away profits. And there's a negative slant too, or like a cynical slant on corporate social responsibility that it's emerged recently. That's to say, like, well, these firms are just being being socially responsible because they want to sell more products. And my take on that is, well, good. Like, if they want to raise their costs, and as a result of raising their costs, they're making this world a better planet, or they're taking care and showing some sort of heart and soul for the humanity, whether it be for the environment, because ultimately that's a human thing, or for some sort of philanthropic motive to take care of people, and it's raising their costs. That's excellent. If that leads to higher revenues, great. That's super cool. That makes me happy too. So corporate social responsibility, if done in a true way, it's kind of difficult, at least for me, to see what's bad about that. If they're using this notion of corporate social responsibility to increase revenue and it's real, that's great. That's cool. Do it. Maybe the owners of those firms aren't really interested in the environment, but they're paying, they're doing something that is contributing to the preservation of our environment. That's cool. I don't care about their motives, right? Just think about the outcomes. So anyway, corporate social responsibility is another reason that firms would be motivated beyond profit. All right, my friends. So there you have it, right? 4 motives beyond profit that would be behind why firms operate or how firms operate. And I hope you realize that all of this right here is super, super excellent for the evaluation section of your answers in theory of the firm, because all of the diagrams, all of the theory that you're learning in theory of the firm is based on profit maximizing level of output. But firms don't always desire that. So draw the diagrams to show that, and then show off your understanding of the whole concept of IB economics, which is to say it's a human behavior thing. And humans don't always behave to maximize profits because we're human beings, and economics is a science of human behavior. All right, my friends, be good to one another. Peace and love to the world out there. I hope you found this video to be helpful, and we'll talk to you in a bit.